With the recent trailer for Loki, we get to see a little bit more of the woman that Loki meets up with on the Earth with the purple hue. There's a few theories going around on the internet right now as to who it could be. So watchers of the Marvel Multiverse, let's take a look at who this could be. There are two really big theories as to who this could be going around the internet at the moment, and that is that this could be either Lady Loki or Black Widow. But I also have a third theory that I'm going to save until after I explain these two. The first big one is that this is Black Widow. Whoever this character is has not shown their face yet, but has appeared sitting on a rock and facing off into the distance in both of Loki's trailers. They appear to be a redhead with similar garb to that of Black Widow, and the haircut itself is very similar to the one Black Widow styled in Age of Ultron. So it could be possible that this is an Earth where Ultron won and Black Widow was one of the few survivors. Or, because of the purple hue and meteorites crashing down on Earth, it could be an Earth that has been affected by the Power Stone, where possibly due to the changes in the timeline, Ronan went on a rampage around the universe, wiping out all planets that dared defy him. And if this is Black Widow, it could tie directly into her story, as that one was technically supposed to release first, and also could be a way to bring Black Widow back into the MCU after her death. But that would really spoil some things for Black Widow, so I don't think that this will be the case. This is the least likely of the three options, because whoever this is the same person who was following Loki around and fighting the TVA, as the sword-like weapon at the hip seems to be similar in all appearances of this hooded character. I say this because what motivation would Black Widow have to be involved with the TVA or even Loki? As a simple human, she probably wouldn't really have much of a part to play in this story. So I personally think it's a bit more likely that it's one of the two other options. And both of these options are based on the fact that Sofia Di Martino has been seen on set wearing Asgardian-like clothes. And in the purple lighting, blonde hair could look kind of red. So the first big theory is that she is playing Lady Loki, which, as we said in a previous video, that it is hinted at in a song that will appear in Loki, Tears for a Trickster. In the comics, Lady Loki comes into being after being killed by Ragnarok, and Loki is reborn as a woman, or so she claimed. Loki used this new female form to lie and cause mischief among the royal family. But for those who were paying attention while reading this comic, Thor originally mistook this for Lady Sif. And as it was revealed later, Loki was just using Lady Sif's body to infiltrate and influence Balder and Thor. Eventually, Loki is returned to his original form by Hela. So it is probably a little less likely that this version of Lady Loki will be used in the MCU. But that doesn't mean that this is not who this is. As with many things in the MCU, this version will be very different if it is Lady Loki. Although it still could be Loki in a disguise from another universe or timeline. But it is probably more likely that this is a whole new Loki from another universe. Possibly one where everyone is gender swapped. So I think it could be the case that this version of Loki in her universe had some very similar situations where all of the Avengers went back in time to retrieve the stones, and this version of Loki escaped with the Space Stone just like our version of Loki did. But upon being captured by the TVA, who monitors the timelines of the multiverse, she escapes and tries to stop the TVA from fixing the timelines that she created in her universe. This could also be a way to introduce Lady Loki into the MCU, possibly appearing and taking over Loki's place in Thor: Love and Thunder. So that could be part of the reason why she is kidnapping members and fighting the TVA, but we don't know her interest yet in Loki. And this is kind of where my third theory comes in, one that involves this person's true motives with Loki and the TVA. I think that this could possibly be Loki's real mother. The only thing we know about Loki's parentage is that his real father is Laufey the Frost Giant. In the comics, he does have a mother, Faubauti the Frost Giant, who either killed herself or more likely Laufey kills for giving birth to such a small son. At any point in the MCU, however, this has not been talked about at all. All we know is that Laufey left his infant son to die as he was too small to be a giant, so Odin took Loki in and raised him as his own. So, could Loki's whole story be about eventually finding who his real mother is and coming to terms with who he is as a person? Especially because this Loki is still technically a villain. So he could be following her around the timelines and eventually is able to sit down with her and have a heart-to-heart as to why she left him. This would be an awesome revelation, especially because in the MCU it explains why he is so small and is able to appear as Guardian. Because perhaps his mother is Asgardian, so he is truly half Asgardian and half Frost Giant. I think some possibilities is that she maybe died giving birth to Loki, and in an alternate timeline or universe she survived and Loki died. And after getting involved with the TVA, she learns that her son is alive in another universe or timeline, therefore allowing her to get involved in his life to try and save him. This would really give this character some motivation as to fighting the TVA, and possibly explain how Loki is able to escape from Mobius and the TVA to go on his own quest. And she could be fighting the TVA as to keep the timelines open to be with her son. I like this as a theory because it offers a completely new story for Loki in the MCU. And if it is a way to bring him back into the MCU's main timeline, it could be a great way to introduce him as more of an anti-hero. In the end, this could be absolutely anyone, although they are likely Asgardian as they are wearing clothes very similar to Loki, so possibly it's even just an admirer of Loki's who wants to help him out. But what are your thoughts on this theory? Who do you think this woman is that Loki is speaking to on the purple-hued Earth? And do you think this person is the same hooded figure seen throughout the trailer? And what impact or role will this person play in Loki's story? Let us know your thoughts and theories in the comments below. And then please like this video and subscribe to the Marvelous Wave to assemble and join our team, and have a great day.